Hello and welcome to what's coming up in June. Now, June is going to be a month of pirates. There's an arc of the sequel to a previous book that has pirates. There is a new book that I'm going to be doing a read-along for that is pirates. I decided that is what June is going to be. June is going to be the month of pirates. So, let's get into it. And we'll see by the end of June how many of these I actually read. If the pile I put together for May is anything to go out of, I just veer off in a different direction. But I don't think I'm going to do that this month. Now, I do have 2 arcs to read this month, which have been highly anticipated. The first one up, which I am going to imagine I'm going to read in a day or 2, is called Elder Fox by Benjamin Varon. Now, this is the 3rd and final book in the Echoes of Alarion trilogy. First book being Venomborn, and the second book being Dream Hiker, which only came out the other month, I think. I think it only came out the other month, but I read it as an arc more than a few months ago. So yeah, this 5-star, this hotly anticipated. I can't wait. This is first up. In fact, I'm probably going to start reading this tonight. I can't wait to finish the trilogy. I can't wait to see what happens because it was building up in this one. This one is a wonderful, wonderful introductory to the world of Alarion. This one was a build-up and a lot of things went to hell. So, highly anticipating this one. It's going to be good. I'm going to be starting the month off with a good book. Very highly anticipated for that one coming out. And that book comes out in, I think, the beginning of July. And this is usually where I would read the blurb for it, but it doesn't have one yet. I know I'm so early, it doesn't even have a blurb. I will read the blurb for Venomborn because it might be something that you want to pick up. So, this is the blurb for the first book in the trilogy. Venom changed them in the womb. Now they must change the fate of Auckland. Fermented monster venom is highly addictive, rich in magic, and dangerous. The unfortunate children of addicts are born with purple eyes and strange abilities. They are venom-born. It should be a blessing they are rare, but a danger is coming only their strange powers can stop. The tarnished raiders sail for Firth, flanked by fox-like redback wyverns. Firth's soldiers have no defence against such a force, and what's more, few even believe they are coming. Effie Hartham knows the danger, and she knows she is one of the few who can save her homeland. Together with Kite Coppersmith, who has vowed to rescue or avenge his missing father, the pair stand as Firth's last hope. This is the start of their legend. I can't wait for this. When he revealed this cover earlier this week, I was, you know, when dogs do like a happy dance for biscuits, I was doing a happy dance for my biscuits. And yes, there are 2 different covers. This is the original one. It has been redone with a cover that matches this and that one. So you know I'm just going to end up buying another copy of this, and I'm probably going to put this in one of those little free libraries so somebody else can. Or if somebody in the Discord that I'm in wants it, I'll just send it. And then we are into our pirate month. I love pirates. I love me little pirates. I put my little pirate and I'll put him up here. Love me pirates. So one of my best books of 2025, I think it was the second, in the rankings it came second to This Monster of Mine. A Wraith Beneath the Tides by Amelia J. was a 5-star glowing review. You can find my review down in the description if you want to have a look. This came in the Butterfly Book Club box, the fantasy box, and this edition is stunning. And they might be doing a reprint of this edition as well, which, fingers crossed, means that they are going to be doing a print of the second book. Because yes, the second arc I have to read is A Flame Among the Tides. When this landed, because I applied for it like in January, I didn't think I'd get it because it got to like 2 months. I was like, nah, I'm not getting that, which didn't bother me because I knew I was going to buy the second one, whichever version came out. I knew I was going to buy it because I wanted to carry on the series. And when it landed, last month in my inbox. I was like, oh my god, yes. This is the blurb for the second book. A kingdom risen, a goddess reborn, a world burning red. Esmera now knows the truth of her magic, but it's cost her everything. Draven shattered her heart, and she's sworn to make him pay. But when her hunt uncovers ancient lies, she finds herself entangled in a battle far greater than vengeance. The truths revealed will unravel everything Esmera thought she knew about him, herself, and the goddesses risen from the waves. Meanwhile, powers older than any empire stir. Enemies wear masks of loyalty, and her own heart betrays her with its unrelenting pull toward the one man she's vowed to hate. With her crew caught in the crossfire and Cyrena tightening her grip, that bitch. If you haven't read the first book, Esmera must learn who to trust and who to destroy before the tide drags her under. Because every choice carves her fate, and one misstep could strip her of everything she has left, including her soul. Love it. Love it. I can't wait to write that. That's why they're the two first books of June. That one and that one. And I am not accepting any more arcs. No more arcs. I'm not going looking for it. If I don't read the ones I have already, it's not happening. Unless they're a sequel to one that I've read, like this one. And like the first one, the Elder Fox one, it's not going to be happening. I have too much to read. Wait for them. I can't wait for them. So we are into our pirate month, and we kick off with that one. I thought, well, why not make a month of it? So I scoured my shelves for books that I have not read that have pirates, and there was a fair few. We have Bloody Black by Rhiannon Hargaden. This came in the Butterfly Book Club box for May. I know, right? Another one. This, pirates. I'm looking forward to this one. And the blurb for this one is, Anne was a reckless, arrogant royal who had never tasted defeat. After a brutal betrayal on her wedding night, Anne vanishes from the kingdom she was meant to rule. Years later, she returns from the grave, no longer a princess, but a terror of the seas. Known only as Blackbeard, she's hunting down the men who destroyed her one by one. Vengeance doesn't come without a cost. Brutal bargains with a demon collar her and bind her to a dark promise. When she captures Lieutenant Rob Maynard, a too handsome, too calm officer but loyal to her enemy, Anne intends to trade him for leverage. Instead, she finds herself locked in a dangerous game of secrets and seduction where the greatest threat isn't a blade, but the way he looks at her, like she's still a woman worth loving. And while she knows better than to believe in anything but pain, Anne must decide if life is worth the risk, or if trusting the wrong man will cost her everything she has built. And this is where I started scouring my shelves. So I found Capitana by Cassandra James, which came in Illumicrate February last year. Still haven't read it. I do like the cover. I don't know about whether I like the cover or not, but I do like the spine. Justice will be served to pirates and their sympathizers. Shamina Reel has spent her life training to become one of the black-cloaked cazadors, seafaring hunters who capture the pirates pillaging the Luzon Empire. But although Shamina is the top candidate at La Academia, that will not be enough for a daughter of the notorious Reels, pirate captains who are executed for their crimes. So when Gasparilla, the most infamous pirate in Luz's history, attacks the capital, Shamina offers to catch him in exchange for being named a cazadora. The Empire accepts on one condition. She must compete for her cloak against Dante de Leon, the pompous and infuriating son of the High Minister. Knowing this is her chance to prove herself once and for all, Shamina must set out on a dangerous quest across the archipelago to hunt Gasparilla. But no matter how far she sails, her family's pirate legacy continues to haunt her, and she soon has to question the very laws she's always fought to uphold. I'm interested. And then we have Sea of Souls by N.C. Scrimgeour. Now, I do have the other two, because this is the first book in a trilogy. I do have the other two books down here waiting. Yes, I bought them and haven't read them yet, but I do love the cover of them. I do. And I like the feel of it. It's really like soft, like a suede cover. Dark be the water, and darker still the creatures that lurk within. Free-spirited Isla Blackwood has never accepted the shackles of her family's nobility. Instead, she sails the open waters, searching for belonging on the waves. But when tragedy calls Isla home, she realizes she can no longer escape the duty she's been running from. Selkie raiders have been terrorizing the island's coasts, and when they strike at Blackwood Estate, Isla is forced to flee with her hot-headed brother and brooding swordmaster. To avenge her family and reclaim her home, Isla will have to set aside old grudges and join forces with an exiled Selkie searching for a lost pelt. The heirloom might be the key to stopping the bloody conflict, but only if they can steal it from the island's most notorious Selkie hunter, the Grand Admiral himself. Caught between a promise to the brother she once left behind and an unlikely friendship with the Selkie who should have been her enemy, Isla soon realizes the open seas aren't the only treacherous waters she'll need to navigate. As enemies close in on all sides, she must decide once and for all where her loyalties lie if she wants to save what's left of her family and find the belonging she's been searching for. Seas, I know probably a little bit of pirates, but still sea. And that was it for my pirate books. So, waiting in the wings, if I read all those, which I probably will, are a few other books, which are not pirates. But we have The Fault Mirror by Catherine Ferns. Now this was on my pile for May, and it is only a little one, so I could use it as a little cleanser between pirate books. Everyone sees the house they want to see. Paris 1900. Amidst the decadence of the belle American heiress, Lydia Temple falls in love with ethereal aristocrat Seraphine de Valery and builds her a whimsical castle in the Swiss mountains. The Chateau de Mirrors becomes a bastion of spiritualism until it is taken over by sinister forces during the First World War, and then it disappears. Or did it ever really exist? Oxford 2035. Elderly Professor Cyrus Field is rapidly losing his sight and his will to live, when student Hayden Young presents him with a collection of letters previously lost to history. These letters may contain the answer to the philosophical problem that has been his life's work. But does he really want to know the truth? With war closing in, Cyrus and Hayden must decide whether to risk everything in the quest for knowledge. The mystery of the Chateau de Mirrors reverberates through the generations, connecting two souls that are destined to find each other. Interesting, and I can't believe I didn't get to it in May. Well, I can, I mean, it's me. But yeah, that's probably going to be a palate cleanser between pirate books. And then, as a possible, we have Alchemy of Secrets. This is the Owl Crate edition. I did have the Fairy Loot, I think, but I preferred this one. Folklore 517. Local legends and urban myths, taught by a woman called the Professor. Most students believe the Professor's stories are just fiction, but Holland St. James has always been convinced that magic is real. When she tracks down a local legend named the Watchman, who can supposedly tell you when you'll die, the world finally makes sense. Except that the Watchman tells her she will die at midnight tomorrow unless she finds an ancient object called the Alchemical Heart. With the clock ticking, Holland is pulled deeper into this magical world in the heart of Los Angeles, and into the path of a magnetic stranger. Everything about him feels like a bad idea, but he promises Holland that her sister sent him to protect her. As they chase clues and stories that take them closer to the Alchemical Heart, Holland realizes everyone in this intoxicating new world is lying to her, even this stranger. And if she can't figure out whom to trust, not even the Alchemical Heart will save her. It sounds interesting. It sounds intriguing. So yeah, that is a potential maybe for June. And another definite one, well, definite after me pirates, is This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Ilona Andrews. Now this came in the Owl Crate book box for, it was either April or May, and I'm very, very intrigued by the premise of this book. When Maggie wakes up cold, filthy, and naked in a gutter, she has one thing going for her. She knows exactly where she is. The back alleys of Caer Toran, a city of magic, mystery, and political turmoil. A city that, until now, had existed solely in the pages of her favourite book. Somehow Maggie has landed inside the fantasy series she spent years obsessively rereading. Her only tools for navigating this gritty world of rival warlords, sorcery, and mayhem? Her encyclopedic knowledge of the plot, the setting, and the characters' ambitions, and a mysterious ability to come back to life. But while Maggie apparently can't be killed, though many will try, the same cannot be said for the living, breathing characters she's coming to love. A motley band that includes a former lady's maid, a deadly assassin, various outrageous magical creatures, and a dangerously appealing soldier. Soon, instead of trying to get home, Maggie finds herself enmeshed in the schemes and attentions of dueling princes, dukes, and villains, all while trying to save them and the kingdom of Relis from the way she knows their stories are supposed to end, in a cataclysmic war. I'm gonna have a good reading month in June. I can feel it in my bones. There's gonna be an arc, and then these. So, yeah, I'm hoping to have a really good reading month in June. But let me know your thoughts. Are you excited to see my reviews of these pirate books for the month of June? What do you plan on reading in June? Let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and as always,